Okay, good morning students. In our last class we discussed about constructors. We said constructors basically we are using in order to initiate the object of a class, and we discussed how we have to use the constructors in our programming. I mean the naming and other related stuff, where we have to declare that constructor, where we have to define that constructor, and how we are going to invoke that constructor. All those things we have seen, and the types of constructors also we have seen. We said we have three different types of constructors. The first one, the default constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. I have explained these three constructors with examples, and afterwards we started the concept of destructors. And I have just defined the destructor in my last class. In today's class we are going to discuss in detail about these destructors. Okay, so quickly, a destructor is something we are using in order to deallocate the memory, isn't it? So whatever memory the constructor is allocating for the object, in order to destroy or in order to deallocate that memory or in order to release that memory, we are using these destructors. Okay, simple, you have to remember like this only. Okay, the constructor will allocate the memory, will assign the memory, will give the memory to your object, or we can say the constructor will create the object, whereas the destructor, it will deallocate, it will release, or it will destroy your object. So definitely whatever we are creating, at some point after our usage is over, we have to destroy that particular thing. Otherwise what will happen? They are going to consume the complete main memory of your computer. It is not an efficient thing. Economically, if we think, it is not an efficient thing. So whenever we are allocating the memory, definitely we have to destroy that memory, deallocate that memory, release that memory. So the job of the destructor is to do that only, to destroy or to deallocate or to release your memory resources. Okay, so like your constructor, the destructor is also a special type of member function. So when we are saying member function, it will come inside a class and it will have the parenthesis at the end, and it will be called, it will be defined, and it will be accessed, or it will be invoked. Where we are defining, when it will be invoked, all those things we have to discuss one by one. So as you can see, we said the constructor is a member function, and here the special thing which is associated with your destructor is the constructor name and the destructor name. They must be like your class names. Whatever class name you are taking, the destructor name must be exactly same like your class name, but it has to be prefixed with a tilde symbol. We are going to use that special symbol, tilde symbol, before the destructor name. Okay, so neither it is going to have the parameters nor it is going to have the return value, unlike your constructor. Constructor, it is also not going to have any return value. Destructor, it is also not going to have any return value. But as far as the parameters are concerned, your constructor can have the parameters, but the destructor, it is not possible to specify any parameters to your destructor. So if it is not having any parameters, we cannot overload it, isn't it? When we say a function or a constructor or a destructor is overloaded, simply by checking its parameters. If it is having multiple declarations with different set of parameters, we say a member function is overloaded. As the destructor is not going to have any parameters, there is no concept of destructor overloading. We cannot overload the destructor. Clear? So for a destructor, no return values, no parameters. Clear? So, and when it will be invoked, when the destructor is going to be invoked, just give me a second. Okay, previous slide. Okay, when this constructor is going to be invoked, in the sense when we are coming out of the scope. So basically what we are doing, so how we are specifying the destructor? Let us assume that I have a class with name example, class example. Okay, in it I'm writing my constructor. So constructor, how it should be? Same like you are in the public area only we have to write. Okay, the constructors and destructors we have to write in the public area. So example is my class name. So my constructor will go something like this. Example of, in it I want to print a simple message. Cout object is being created. Object is being created. Okay, no need of this closing curly bracket, parenthesis. Simply we have to close the double quotation and put the semicolon at the end. So now close this constructor. Okay, either you can write the definitions inside the class or outside the class, but right now I am writing inside the class. Now the destructor, how the destructor is going to be? Simply put tilde symbol along with the class name, example of. Yes, this is your destructor, and what this destructor will do, it will destroy the object. Cout object is being destroyed. Object is being destroyed. So exactly opposite functionality of your constructor. Your destructor will do exactly opposite functionality of your constructor. Where the constructor is allocating the memory, creating the object, your destructor will destroy that object. So here you close and close the class, and inside your main, int main of void. So inside your main, simply create the object of this example class. So I am taking the class name example space followed by the object name, that is obj. My object name is obj. Now only creation of this object, what it will do, because neither we are going to call the constructor specifically nor we are going to call the destructor specifically or explicitly, we can say by the user. Okay, by the user, explicitly in the sense by the user. Neither we are going to call the constructor explicitly nor we are going to call the destructor explicitly. So what will happen when you are creating the object creation itself calls the constructor. So when you are creating the obj, it will call the constructor example. So you will get this message, object is being created on the output screen. You will get this message on the output screen. Then what will happen when this destructor will be invoked or when this destructor will be called? When you are coming out of the scope. When you are coming out of the scope, or we can say after creation of the object, whenever the object is exiting the class. Where my class is ending? Here at this point my class is ending. So whenever the object is coming out of the scope of the class, or whenever the class is coming out of the scope, at that point what it will do? It will simply destroy the object. It will simply destroy the object associated with it. So what that destruction will do? What that task will do means it will invoke the example destructor. That destructor will destroy that object. In order to destroy that object, the compiler will call the associated destructor of this obj. What is the associated destructor of this obj? This one. So it will simply call that example destructor to release the resources, to release the memory of that particular object. So creating only one object will call the constructor one time, will call the destructor one time. So if I create more than one object, what I am doing right now, I am trying to create more than one object, that is obj1 comma obj2. Now what will happen? Ultimately obj1, creation of object 1 will call the constructor first. Then creation of object 2 will call the constructor second time. So likewise what will happen? These two objects will call their constructors separately. Object 1 will call its constructor, object 2 will call its constructor. And from where they call their constructors? From the example class only, because they are the objects of example class. They are the objects of example class. So creation of obj1 will call example constructor. Creation of obj2 will also call the constructor, the same constructor second time. So now after creation, once the job is done, when the class is coming outside, what will happen? they call their respective destructors. They call their respective destructors. Obj1 will call the destructor, so you will get this message on the output screen. Simultaneously, Obj2 will also call the destructor in order to release the resources, so you will get this same message second time. So now when you are creating two objects, you will get two created messages and two destroyed messages. Quickly we'll see this on the compiler. So I am starting my CPP compiler. In it, I will write my program. Hopefully it is visible to you. So hash include IO stream, then using namespace std. Okay, then I have to create my class. The same class I will create whatever I have written on the board, class example. Okay, in it I will write only the constructor in the public area. In the public area of my class, I am writing the constructor example. So it should be same like my class name, but I don't give any parameters. Okay, so next I am printing simple message, cout object is being created. Object is being created. Okay, then put the semicolon at the end. Now the destructor. How we have to put the destructor? It is same like the class name, but with tilde symbol. You have to look for this symbol on your keyboard. It is a special type of symbol, negate symbol. Okay, so we call this as tilde symbol on the keyboard. So next, example of, yes, here cout, we call object is being destroyed. Object is being destroyed. Object is being destroyed. Put the semicolon at the end. Now this is my class. I am ending over here. This is my example class. Now I want to create the object for that class example. So where I have to create? Inside the main function. Int main of void. Now inside main function, what I am doing? I am creating obj. First only one object I will create. Only obj1 I am creating right now. So we will see creation of that object will do what to our program. So quickly what we have to do? Save the program. I am taking my program name as test4.cpp. Okay. So now the program is saved. Now what I have to do? Go compile. It is successfully compiled, then run. Yes, you can see object is being created, object is being destroyed. So whenever you are printing some message, don't forget to take the endl, new line character. Okay, here also endl. So now you can see execute, compile, you are getting two messages on the output screen. That is, object is being created, object is being destroyed. This is only for object 1. It is only for object 1 because right now I am creating only one object in my program. So creation of that object is invoking the constructor one time and destructor one more time. So now what I will do? I will put the comma and I will take obj2. I am creating two objects now. So what will happen? obj1 creation will call the constructor one time. obj2 creation will also call the constructor another time. So two times the constructor will be invoked. Same your destructors. Destructors will also be invoked twice. Example destructor will also be invoked twice. Okay. And compile, successfully compiled, then execute, run, you can see. Two times your constructor is being called. Okay. One for obj1 and the second time for obj2. Same thing. Destructors will also be called two times. Okay. Object is being destroyed for obj1, object is being destroyed for obj2. Like your default constructor, we are also going to have the default destructor in your program. If you don't specify this destructor, at that point also what will happen? Your object is being destroyed by the default destructor. Okay. as your destructors, they are not having, one more important point you have to notice or you have to remember when we are talking about your destructors. Okay, that is, like your constructors, your destructor is not having any parameters. So, you cannot have multiple definitions for your destructors. You cannot have multiple definitions for your destructors as they are not going to have any parameters. Okay. But for your constructors, we can have the parameters, so we can have multiple definitions for my constructors. Clear? Yeah, this is the explanation on destructors. Hopefully you got it. Yeah, in my next video, we will discuss about friend functions. Thank you.